Hi, my name's Julius. I run a channel on YouTube where I upload videos with 3 in title. I'm also a big Gundam fan, which may surprise you. But as a Gundam fan in the 40K sphere, I often get asked one very specific question, and that is, why don't you play Tau? And well, the answer to that is, no. You see, there's something weird about Tau that has never quite just connected with me. Something about the proportions, the design, it's just a bit not my tempo. So, from that question raises another question, which is, how can a Gundam fan learn to like Tau? Now, to answer the question of how a Gundam fan could learn to like Tau, there is one very obvious solution. Why don't you just put Gundam in Tau? Yes, this is a very, very viable option. I have a lot of spare Gundam kits sitting behind me. It shouldn't be too hard to put one of them in as, say, a Tau Riptide, right? Well, it's not that easy. You see, proxying models in 40K is a little bit like trying to say an offensive joke at a stand-up bar. You can do it, and for a lot of people it's part of what makes the hobby fun, but you always run the risk of pissing someone off. 40K has people who come from all different sorts of backgrounds, and some like Gundam, some don't like Gundam. So if I were to show up to a tournament with a Zaku with big gun as my Storm Surge, there might be a few people that would say, call the judge. So, how do we do this? If we can't just use a Gundam model, we would have to go in sneaky beaky like. Now hear me out. What if we were to take, say, a Tau Riptide and just change little bits and pieces of it, put some Gundam parts on it here and there so that I feel like it looks like a Gundam model, but maybe my opponent still thinks it's a Tau Riptide. Now we're talking. But there is also a problem with this, and that is that it requires kit bashing. And I'm not a modeling expert. So, we're gonna have to call for help.
Oh, shit.
My full legal name is Plaid. My last name is Hobbies. Much like you, for me, Gundam was something that I got into first, like, has it really been over 10 years? I think it has been. Mostly just kind of casually building Gundam, but then also, you know, I've done some painted kits, I've done some dioramas.
Mr. Plaid Hobbies. He's a very cool guy, and very modest too. Just don't let it fool you. You see, he is a very talented builder and a painter, even though he probably wouldn't himself say it. Now, how good, you might be asking? Well, he was apparently a few hair shapes away from getting into the Gundam Builders World Cup, which is essentially the Gundam equivalent of winning a Golden Demon.
Oh, it was so bad because I got 3rd place that year, so I didn't make it. And then the second year I did it, I got 2nd place in my category. So by the previous year's rules, I would have had an entry, but that year they didn't do the affiliation. So I was like, bruh.
And with an expert like him on board, how was I not to feel a little bit confident? We have finally gotten through minutes of me mansplaining and exposition dumping. And now it's time to actually start building this Riptide kitbash. And like every other good kitbash, it's going to have to start with the bit spin.
Now, if you've ever watched any form of 40K content, you probably know what a bit spin is. a collection of unused parts that you slowly amass over time from all the different kits you've built. This is mine. It's pretty large, so I'm a bit ashamed of it. It means that I've probably bought a little too many 40k minis. But I don't think it could really get much worse than this, could it? This is my Gunpla bit spin. And this is my other one. With parts obtained, it was time to begin modifying our Riptide. I wanted to do a lot with this Riptide. The proportions I wanted to be changed. Legs needed to be longer. The chest needed to be beefier. The backpack needed to be completely scrapped and built anew.
The big one for me that I noticed with the Riptide specifically was arms. Because the Riptide's arms are just like, it's got like a shoulder and elbow, and then its entire forearm is just a gun. But man, having like fully posable arms that are holding guns would be so cool.
So that's a lot on the to-do list, but come on, I'm a YouTuber sitting in front of a camera talking to you about his special project that he's modding for your viewing pleasure. He must be good at what he does, right? Right? I'm not a very intelligent builder. I build, modify, and paint the same way that I do in my 40k games, without intelligence. I was stumbling my way through. I managed to glue on a few parts here and there and kind of just fill my way upwards into a shape that I felt like I was satisfied with. But I wasn't very proficient with the tools that I was using.
Yeah, don't cut your thumbs like we both
Yeah,
coincidentally did.
actually, that's actually true. My pin vise shattered. I was gonna put a metal pin into one of my leg joints, and my drill bit broke into the hole. So it not only did it break, but it then filled the hole that I was simultaneously trying to make.
Oh yeah, I've had that happen before.
There's a moral here which is probably very important, and that is that you should actually build and modify safely without having a potential drill snap and shatter in front of your eyes where you are not wearing protective goggles. Don't do that. But after making my way down to the store to buy myself a new drill, as well as making a few more modifications, I felt that I was ready to begin doing a bit of painting. So, how do I paint the monstrosity that I created? And yes, I do mean monstrosity. After putting on all the parts onto this Riptide, I realized that it didn't really look like a Riptide anymore. So I decided to try and dial things back. I didn't want to change the parts because that was what was important to me, but at the very least I could do something with that color scheme. And with that, I began to think about Commander Farsight. Commander Farsight is a pretty interesting model because, well, I just can't think of any key commanders in a sci-fi Japanese-made universe that pilot red suits. Strange.
I was thinking about doing like that sort of Farsight red for a bit, and then I thought about it, I'm like, no, I want to do the opposite and do a blue one. I did all of the priming, I did all of the undercoating, and I'm like, damn, I feel pretty good about this. And then I put blue into my tank of my airbrush. I loaded it up, and I'm like, this just ruined every single layer under it. The shade of the blue went from like Macross like deep blue to like what I can only describe now as like Disney Star Wars blue. Like the shade is like
that is the exact shade you're I know exactly what you mean.
But after a long and arduous time at the sweatshop, I finished painting. The masking was done, the washing was done, and I was quite happy with the finished product. And that's where you find me now, sitting at my desk enjoying this afternoon with my brand new Riptide. And I like it. It's not perfect, don't get me wrong. It's taller than the average Riptide and probably will be modeling for disadvantage in every single possible way, but it's not bad. But there is one slight problem. You see, the actual building of this kit took about a month. And remember, at the start of this video, I said that I wanted to figure out if I could build an entire army of these.
When you say it's a dream army, it is a dream army in like the literal sense of the phrase. I feel like it's feasible if you only kind of did the major kit bashing like we did for like centerpiece models like the Riptide or like the Storm Surge. But if you were doing this for like, you know, every stealth suit and like every breacher team or every, you know, whatever the fucking transport is, like, yeah, it would not work out because you would never have a finished army.
So what can we learn from today's story? Well, as it turns out, building an entirely customized kit-bashed army, that's pretty hard. This one Riptide was already a 1-month build, and when I think about building more of those alongside my Ghost Keels, my Devilfish, my Stealth Suits, my Pathfinders, ooh, that's a project. But as it is, I'm happy to have done this. The Riptide behind my desk is happy being where it is, and, well, at the very least, it makes for a very good paperweight. But that is going to do it from me, and thank you so much for not only watching this video, but allowing this channel to grow to over 10,000 subscribers. That's more than I can count. But for now, I hope you enjoyed this video, and sometime, maybe beyond this time, I will return to Tau. Thanks for watching.